Hi guys, and welcome back to Love English. Today's lesson is going to be a little bit controversial. If you are a native speaker of English, you might not want to watch this lesson. If you are a non-native speaker, then this lesson is really going to help you sound smarter, more eloquent, more articulate, and generally speak better English. I'm going to tell you the 7 words that you should never, ever say in English. These words will simply make you sound well. I don't want to say less intelligent, but I'm going to. Less intelligent. You will not sound as smart as you could if you used an alternative to these words. Now, of course, you will hear many English people using these words and expressions, and you might think that that is completely acceptable to use and you want to speak in this way. But many of you are learning English to use in a business environment or at university or to help you get a better job. So using these expressions is not the best way to sound and the best way to speak in English. And of course, if you are English, you can comment below and complain about everything that I say, but I am right. Don't use these 7 words in English because it is just bad grammar, speech, vocabulary. It doesn't make you sound smart. Before we get started, don't forget to share some of your top tips or words that you think you should avoid in English if you want to sound smarter. And of course, if you would like to improve your English speaking, there is still time to join the Lingoda Marathon. See the comments box below and the description box for a link to learn more about how you can improve your English with a native speaker and get a full refund on your course fees. So on with the lesson. 7, that's right, 7 words, expressions that you should never use in English if you want to sound smart. Ain't it? Ain't you hungry? Number 1, ain't. Ain't. Ain't is not a word. It doesn't exist in the English language. It is simply a very informal tag question. The weather's great, ain't it? Or it could mean, are you not? It is not. Ain't you hungry? No, do not say this. Do not use the word ain't. It is bad English. Instead, just use be not. Aren't you hungry? The weather is great, isn't it? If you want to learn more about how to use question tags, there is a link here and I will provide one in the description box below. So, if you've heard the word ain't, forget it. Don't use it if you want to sound smart. Number 2, similar to ain't, in it. In it. This is an expression you might hear more in London, but again, generally speaking, it is very informal. It is not correct English, and I do not recommend you use it. Even when you're talking with friends, it's just a bad habit to get into. So in it, again, means isn't it? A little bit like ain't. The weather's great, in it. Chocolate's fattening, in it. Isn't it? It is not a correct question tag. It is not correct grammar. Do not use it. Understand it if you're watching an English film, a television program, but don't think that it is the right way to speak. Number 3. So I was walking to the shops and I saw this dog and this dog was huge. So I crossed the street because I don't want to be attacked by a dog. Using like. Now I think this is a little bit more of an American way of speaking, but it has also come over to the UK. Using like as an interjection just to add emphasis does not sound good. Of course, we can use it to talk about similarities. The dog was like the size of a house, but you would not use it as an interjection in terms of sounding more intelligent, it would only make you sound less eloquent, less articulate. It is not a good way to speak in formal situations and just bad English in general. So you might hear it, but do not use it. When you need to use emphasis, when you want to emphasize something, you can simply add word stress. The dog was huge. The dog was like really big? No. The dog was huge. That's all you need to do. That adds emphasis. Or of course you can use an intensifier, very, really, totally, completely. These also work very well too. Number 4, in the same way that we would use like too much, people also use so. Now, using so as an interjection to keep repeating this when you speak does not sound very good. So I went to the shops and then, so what happened was that I saw my friend. So I said, hi, how are you? So she came over, just using so repetitively. In fact, any word repetitively doesn't sound good in English, and it just simply sounds like you don't have a wide enough vocabulary to choose different words. Number 5, the word literally. Literally. Literally is when you are saying that something is factual, that when you take something exactly for what you have said. For example, the driver took me literally, to take someone literally, when I said drive across the roundabout, meaning he drove over the roundabout rather than going around it. So when you take someone literally for what they say, you exactly take their words word for word, and you don't understand the subtleties, the differences in their speech and what they're trying to explain. Now, the word literally is used by some people to emphasize things. So I was literally terrified. I literally couldn't think, and I was literally just stuck for words. Just using this over and over again does not emphasize anything, and it doesn't sound very intelligent. So avoid using the word literally. You don't even need to use it. It's not necessary. Unless you are explaining someone taking your word literally, taking what you say literally. Number 6, whatever. Whatever is an exclamation, but it can sound very, very rude. It is much better to say, I don't mind, either, any, but using whatever does sound rude, especially in the wrong context. Which would you like, tea or coffee? Whatever. Doesn't sound good. So remember, choose your words carefully. I don't mind, either would be good, any would be fine by me. Number 7, lol. Now we all know that lol means laugh out loud, but recently I have noticed some people starting to use this when they speak. As an English teacher, it drives me crazy, and I do not want to hear us speaking in text talk in 10 years' time. I understand that English needs to evolve and it changes, but don't be so lazy as to say lol. Just laugh. If something's funny, laugh. Or say, that's so funny. But don't say lol, guys. It does not sound good. And talking in abbreviations, and especially text talk regularly, is just bad English and lazy. You know better. You have a better vocabulary range than that. So that's it, 7 words and phrases that I do not want you to use when you are speaking English, because I want you to sound more confident and smarter when you talk. You want to be eloquent, articulate, and a confident speaker. So remember those 7 phrases. You might hear them, but I do not want you to repeat them. Thank you so much for watching, and of course don't forget to share this lesson if you thought it was useful.